One of the things to notice on the CDCLarue vacuums is where the filters go on. And if you'll notice these cracks and these cracks and these cracks over here, you also have more of them here, around over here. Well, these plastic plates that the filters screw to, they will eventually crack, and the dust will come in through the cracks and actually come into your vacuum, which gets into your solenoids, and of course you're breathing dust out through your exhaust that you don't really want. So this is a 3D printed filter base for the 1000 series Pulse-Bac vacuums. It will bolt on exactly the way your current vacuums have it, using the existing screws that you already have. When you receive the 3D printed base, these O-rings will already be in place. Now, as an additional backup, what I encourage everybody to do is just take just a small rivulet of silicone, just like that, and put it on the inside of the two O-rings, and then you'll turn around and you'll mount it exactly where it goes, and make sure you get all 8 screws started before you start tightening them down. And when you start tightening them down, do it similar as you would if you had a truck wheel. You would go back and forth like this in a pattern and slowly tighten it down. Don't just crank it down on one side and then crank it down on the other. Slowly ease the O-rings down onto the metal base of the Pulse-Bac 1000 series vacuum, and just slowly snug up all of the screws until they're tight, and you're good to go. That's how I would do all of these right here. All right, it's been roughly 3.5 to 4 months since these filters were installed on this vacuum. Now, this vacuum is a CDCLarue Pulse-Bac 1250, but it's been modified to have the DustRam 3D printed CDCLarue filter plates adapters put on there. And what that does is that allows the seals to really seal properly, as you'll see here in a moment. We're going to get ready to take one of them off, and if everything goes right, you'll see that it has a very, very wide, generous area that the seals contacted perfectly. Turn that off. Okay, so as you can see, if you look down in there, you can see how perfectly clean that is down in there. And by the way, this has been modified. It has aluminum valves. It doesn't have the foam valves any longer. And you can see it perfectly had a complete seal. Now I'm going to vacuum the rest of this dust off the outside, wipe this down with alcohol, and then we can reinstall another filter. And by the way, we also use a silicone compound to aid in tightening the filter back up. As you can see, it was very easy to get it back off, but yet it's stayed intact for about 4 months or so. So before we get started here, once we vacuum this off of here, we're going to take some rubbing alcohol on a rag, and then we're going to wipe the surface of this clean in preparation for a new filter. So just some alcohol and a microfiber towel. Now we're going to take a little bit of alcohol here, and the alcohol will take off and clean the old residual silicone compound. Now, we're not talking silicone caulking. It's a compound. For every filter that we sell, we include a packet of this silicone dielectric compound. This is going to go on every gasket filter that we put back on here. just dry that off a little bit. So now that's ready to go. And then we come back over here. We're going to take this filter right here, and as you can see, it's got a very, very thick gasket on here. And we have hand applied this gasket and glued it into place so it's really, really flat. Then we're going to take this, and I'm just going to squirt this, out. I'm just going to extract it from the little tube here. I don't care really how it looks at this point in time. I just want to get it out. Then I'm going to take my fingers and I'll just kind of come around here like this. I'm just going to spread this around evenly. Okay, so what this does is this makes sure that when this goes down on here, let me wipe that back off again. When this goes back down here again, this will lubricate this seal so I can get it snug. And when I get ready to take it off, it won't be locked on there, because sometimes the old way of doing that with the other method of filters that are available, the seal will actually stick. So what I do is I do it hand tight, then I come back, get these big channel locks. You can get them over at Harbor Freight, but you need big ones like this. Careful to hold it just on the base, don't get it on the filter pleats. And all you're gonna do is you're just gonna snug it up to about right there. You notice I didn't go too far, but at this point, I can't break it free with my hands. That's what you're looking for. So that would be a filter replacement using the 3D printed DustRam CDCLarue filter adapter plate.